TON currently down 14% as Telegram CEO Pavel Durov arrested in France. Durov was arrested in France because of Telegram's lack of moderation and cooperation with the law enforcement. Telegram was known for its and not complying with the government. This got led to the CEO getting arrested. And because of that, Toncoin is down over 14% now. Bitcoin, the meme coin that was based on Ton network, is down over 21%. So huge drop from yesterday. It's been downtrending since its peak and showing no sign of recovery. The market cap is surprisingly really big, so I'm not sure how they were able to get up to such a high market cap. Probably insider trading and whales buying up and providing the liquidity. Other than that, the market looks pretty normal. We had a huge pump on the Jackson Hole meeting on Friday. And now the price is coming back to test down the 20-day moving average. And once it does, we should be seeing another leg up coming closer to the September FOMC meeting. 0.25% cut. And yeah, and that will trigger more risk on assets. People are saying that the stocks will go down because that's how it's just been historically. But you have to understand that rate cut doesn't make the stock crash. The unemployment and recession does. So we have to watch the unemployment rate, and as unemployment rises, Fed will speed up the rate cut process. And if the earnings goes down, that's bad for stocks. However, crypto and commodities, they're not tied to an earning. This is the chart for United States money supply called M2. And we can see that the money supply has been decreasing since the interest rate hike in 2022. You can see MACD still in downtrend. But we can see that later is getting lighter and the fast line is about to make a trend reversal, meaning that the money printer is about to come back on. And once it breaks the last all-time high, the peak of 2160, it will be another bullish session. If they don't have money, they don't have money to invest. Like, that's simple as that. If they don't have money, they need to have money. And the money comes from the US Treasury and the Federal Reserve. They're the one who controls the supply of money. And Jerome Powell on Friday, or at Jackson Hole, on Thursday, he announces that Fed will pivot to quantitative easing, meaning that he will print more money before the election because he's worried about US unemployment rate and recession. So he doesn't want that. So he wants to prevent that from happening. He wants to prevent 2008 and dot-com bubble from happening. That's why he's getting ahead of the recession and going to print money before. So if he pulls that off, that will be a great thing. We just have to see unemployment data now. He's happy with the inflation rate, so we'll be just monitoring the unemployment rate. So it doesn't spike up to 5, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8%. Price action is looking good. Need to break this downtrend. Almost there. And retesting the 0.5 Fibonacci level. Very nice. But basically, this time there was a worldwide pandemic and a lot of monies were printed during COVID. So it is actually kind of different now because of how much money was printed in the past few years. The top chart is money printer. And once COVID hit in March, the Fed immediately stepped in and started to print more money. And during COVID, the economy slowed down and it made a dip. So this was the panic mode. People were forced to shelter. Restaurants were closed, bars were closed, people couldn't go back to work, and the economy slowed down quite significantly. And you can see that Bitcoin price has gone down during that time of period. And once the money printer is on, you can see inflation goes up as well as the price of the Bitcoin. And once the money printer is shut down and there's no more money, inflation goes down as well as Bitcoin price too. And then the money printer is slowly sidelining while the inflation is cooling. But the difference was that Bitcoin, it was going up. The treasuries were printing money on the back end using short-term bonds. So yeah, all this pump wasn't, this was the very unusual, like this time is different type of leg up. US Treasury was printing short-term treasuries to keep the economy afloat. So Fed was quantitative tightening and Treasury was issuing treasuries to stop from market from crashing. So that is what happened this time. So basically, the most important chart that we have to look at for Bitcoin is the M2 money supply. If there's more money in people's hands and more money in the governments and banks' hands, they will invest into Bitcoin. If they don't, they're forced to take out the cash and pay for their daily expenses. Inflation is currently under 3% in a downtrend, and money supply is about to go up, and we'll see if the Fed can have a soft landing. Seems like they're doing a good job so far monitoring the data and being very communicative with the market, and the market has gone up quite significantly, not gonna lie. If you look at Nvidia has been only up since 2003 and made an insane amount of gains. So yeah, this was the peak. Okay, October was the market bottom for stocks, and this was all based on, they are killing their earnings while doing quantitative tightening. So Nvidia was able to make a healthy correction of 35% correction. That's very healthy. So once the economy slows down and the earnings are slowing down, all that liquidity should flow into crypto. Because if you see the SVB incident, the government stepped in right away and then provided liquidity to stop the banks from going bankrupt. So yeah, so crypto is better than stocks as of right now, and we just have to wait until Bitcoin breaks above its last all-time high of 73.6K, and that should signal a altcoin season going into Q4 of this year. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, and yeah, hang on tight. We're almost there. We are going into the last week of August. September is ahead of us. We're going into Q4. It should be all good. 6 months after halving is usually when the Bitcoin goes up, uh, just due to sheer supply and demand economy rule. We're almost there, guys. We've been downtrending since March. Just hang on tight. Just DCA as you go. Just stay in the market and see you guys on the other side.